Hey everyone, next job I've got to play around with is this Mk2 RS2000. The guy's not after a concourse restoration, just something that's nice and neat and tidy to drive around. It's not too bad, it's got a lot of that wormy type stuff in the paint everywhere. Which usually goes all the way back down to the metal, so apart from that it's a pretty straight car. We'll be making one good one out of two bad ones. And some other bits for it there on the floor. A nose cone there. They've all seen better days by the time they get to this point in life. But this one's not a bad example. It's all quite straight and quite rust free, so it shouldn't take a huge amount of time to tidy up and paint. There's already some bits that he started on, all the bits from around the nose cone. I like to keep myself a book with notes. I need to write parts that I need to get and what needs to be done and what's getting done. And a big bucket like that to put all the stuff in as it comes out of the car. So it's already been started to be pulled apart. Carpet peeled back to check the rust in the corner there, which was pretty good. The headlining, and it's not too bad, so I'm going to try and not disturb that. We'll take the windows out so we can get into the corners and make sure it's all rust free and get some fresh paint in there. You can still get the rubbers brand new these days, so that's not a big hassle. Yeah, some people should be shot for things that they do to cars. This here is probably not a bad looking example of a door card. I've seen a lot worse in the time and would possibly tidy up okay. Someone's put a bloody speaker there. Not sure why. Usually go down in there if anyone puts them anywhere. So unless there's new door cards on the cards, so to speak, I have to get another speaker to go back in there. Bloody stupid. Another handy storage thing to have of these. That way you can throw all like pieces of the car, just keep them all grouped together so you don't lose them. Some Doyle bits and pieces there, room for lots of others, easily filled up. Once the car goes back together, you just keep using it for the next project. I find that when you're pulling something apart for restoration, that it's best to clean up the stuff as you pull it off the car. That way it's all ready to go back on the car once you've finished tidying the car up and painting it, whatever. And the other good thing about it is that you immediately pick what needs replacing on it. So if you clean something, you're going to see any flaws that it might have. All these seat belts that have come out the back, they're all in really good condition actually. For their age, there's no fraying at all on them. And even the front ones are pretty good. And one of the best things to do cleanups with is a microfiber cloth. Just that and a bit of water. Clean off most stuff. Sometimes a little bit of detergent, but it's mostly just that. Give everything a wipe over. That way your eyes go over every part of it, and you can pick up any faults that need fixing or stuff that needs replacing. It's been a little bit of a lazy Sunday in the shed. Had a couple of hours working on the car today. Just started playing with the door trims. They're a little bit beaten up, but they'll clean up okay. Managed to get the most of the interior out. All the seat belts, the rear seat, the carpet, and the underlay in the front. It's not a bad shell, this one. So hopefully most of the work will just be on the outside. Bodywork and paint. It hasn't got an engine in it, so that'll need to come as well. And a 5-speed gearbox for it. The location of that outlet's got the gear shift's got to change a little bit. As well as having a plastic box like this to put all the parts, it's also handy to have some of these things on hand as well. And just little plastic Ziploc bags. You can put screws and washers and basically anything in there, and then just write on it where they're actually from. Makes it a hell of a lot easier when you put the car back together. The other thing is it keeps bolts with whatever small parts you might actually take them off. I know that one's got to be cleaned up and probably zinc plate that one. At least you know that bolt there goes with the clip. These old rocker switches are in pretty good condition. They're dodgy at the best of times, these old things. It looks like someone's come along and tried to solder some wires to the back of this one. It's the spotlight switch, and the post is already loose, so I hesitate to solder onto it again. I know that I have been able to crimp stuff, use some crimp style fittings on there in the past, so I'm going to try and use the Dremel tool and use that to grind that off and start it on that there. Hopefully once all that's off I can make up some other fittings to go on it. Okay, well that didn't take too long. Just use that mill fitting on the end of the Dremel tool and cleaned up the pins. What I'll do now is I've got some of these red style electrical connectors. They're pretty loose on there at the moment, but what I'll do is I'll take the insulation off the outside of it, crimp it down to suit so that it's a nice push fit on there. Then I can just crimp some wires up to it. Being a spotlight switch, it's going to be driving a relay anyway, so they don't need to be super big wires. That's the biggest mistake that people make with these old style Ford rocker switches, is that they don't put a relay on them, and once you start getting a high current through here, just begins to melt all the plastic. I've seen a few of these switches completely melted out. So always run a relay on it, and we'll put this back into the thing soon, and then that'll be all ready to go back in the box when it comes time to put the car back together. Switches aren't in too bad condition for their age. So now I've liberated that from its little red sheath. Crimp that on. Still see it's still pretty loose, but all I need to do then is just crimp that down a little bit until it's a nice snug fit, and then put some heat shrink on it. They're meant for the bare connectors, ones that go into multi-game fittings. Try to pick the next size down. Wedged itself in there fairly firmly, but end result is that it's a nice firm tight fit. There's a little gap there in the end. You get it to just start to go over that. And just keep working that around a little bit. Keep drying it until it's a nice snug fit on there, like that. So that's not going to come off anytime soon. And it just saves soldering on those pins and melting all that plastic. I'll throw some heat shrink tubing over that now and make another one. You can connect the other end up to whatever some other time, but for now that'll be good enough to put it back in the instrument, back in that switch panel, and store it away. Just finish it off with a bit of heat shrink. A lot better option than soldering on these old switches. Finished product. Just check it now with the circuit tester just to make sure it's all good. Not going anywhere in a hurry. One last test to see if it works. Hooked it up to the circuit tester. Seems to be working. Which is rare for one of these old switches. So there we've got the completed panel, all cleaned up, ready to go back in the car whenever we do that. Won't be for months. Just got the fixed up switch in there, all the other switches in there, all the factory harness still, so it's all good. And it'll now go into the box with the other bits that you can't see, the light surrounds and that are in there already. Zip that in there, lid on it, so it's all clean when it comes time to put it back together.